Sir, I've heard there can be really dangerous radiation during an eclipse.
Yeah, I heard that too. Is that right?
Well, on eclipse day, the sun's radiation is there like any other day. And the sun is very, very powerful. You wouldn't look at the sun today because it would hurt your eyes. So all that's different on eclipse day is that you want to look at the sun. So how can you do that safely? You can use safe, specially made eclipse watching glasses. You can project an image of the sun on a piece of paper. You can go to a local planetarium. All of those things are safe, and we encourage you to watch the eclipse, but watch it safely. So it's not true that there's any special radiation on eclipse day. It's a rumor, it's a false rumor, it's just the sun. But treat the sun with respect, protect your eyes, and have a fantastic experience. Watch the eclipse. If you have access to a pair of binoculars, you can make an excellent image of the sun. Don't look at the sun, of course, but let the sunlight go through the binoculars and out the eyepieces. Take a piece of white paper, focus the binoculars until the edge of the sun's image is as sharp as can be, and then look, you can see a sunspot and another sunspot, and this is a great way to see an eclipse. This is a lot easier if you can put your binoculars on a tripod like I've done here. A lot of camera stores will sell a little adapter. If you can't put them on a tripod, put them on a table, prop them up with some books. And remember, don't look through. Now, how do you point the binoculars at the sun if you can't look through them? That's easy. Make the shadow of the binoculars as small as possible. And when the binoculars are pointing right toward the sun, there'll be a small round shadow, and when you got the pointing just right, the sun will come out the eyepieces and make a nice image of the sun. If you decide that two images of the sun are a bit confusing, just take a piece of cardboard and block off one half of the binoculars, and then you'll end up with one nice image of the sun. You may be wondering, is there something like a guide or a checklist that can help you in preparing for an eclipse watching event? The good news is there is. I wrote an article on exactly that topic for the Astronomical Society of the Pacific, and reprints are available for free on the websites that are listed at the end of this video. The guide covers such mundane but important things as, is there enough parking? Are there bathrooms? Is there food and water for the long period of time during the partial eclipse? Is there a place for people to sit down? So use the checklist and guideline. And you might even consider having a practice event weeks or a month before the actual eclipse. That'll allow you to test out your logistics, and importantly, you can use that time to give away or sell eclipse watching glasses, and you'll have hours to do that well in advance, and it won't all be rushed because the eclipse is happening. We don't have time. Remember that if you wait until a week before the eclipse and try and order eclipse watching glasses, it'll be too late. So prepare in advance for all of your eclipse day logistics, and that way you'll have a successful event and people will be really, really appreciative that someone prepared in advance. That someone should be you. You may be wondering how to get the word out about an eclipse day event. That's easier than you might think. Local media, especially newspapers, are really interested in stories about their community. And you're probably aware that newspapers especially have had to shrink and shrink and shrink their staffs. So they don't have that many reporters and writers. If you go to them with an interesting story about this spectacular eclipse that's going to happen in the community, I can pretty much guarantee you that they'll be interested in running the story, maybe even a series of stories. So go to the same websites listed at the end of this video and download the sample press releases, the sample information that you can take and just alter very slightly to your local circumstances. Take it to a newspaper, definitely take it to local radio stations, maybe even to TV, and do that well in advance. Let them know a month in advance, even more, that something big is coming to where you live. If you consider doing an event with schools or at a park, by all means, make use of Parks and Recreation. Meet with the principal of the school well in advance. In the spring of 2017 is when they plan activities. So go to those people and say you want to run an event in August of 2017 and start the preparations, and they can get the word out and help everything be well organized. Many communities have organizations that will support schools, or service clubs like the Rotary or the Kiwanis or the Lions. And our experience is oftentimes they will support buying and distributing eclipse watching glasses to all the students so that they can have a good experience watching the eclipse.